Ladies and gentlemen, this video is called Otter, Refugees, and Other Mandates. So, do you like Governor Otter and his conservative stance? Well, let's look at that a minute. He loves China, a communist country, and is willing to sell property to allow the communist Chinese to purchase property that will be subsidized by the Idaho taxpayer. Oh, but communism's dead, right? In addition, this land bought by the communists will have Chinese jurisdiction, which means that although subsidized by the taxpayer, we will have no recourse on anything that happens on their land. One thing that comes to mind is what American principle supports the enemy of liberty that has openly called for our demise, occupying our land. Another thought is, what principle of America, financially or otherwise, supports the enslavement of other countries? What constitutional provision gives the governor the authority to make treaties with foreign countries? Isn't that a job authorized to Congress? Where's the provision that allows government to focus on creating jobs? Last I remember, they were to get the hell out of the way and allow the jobs to be created on their own by the taxpayer. Governor Otter, as I have known him, is easy to like. Setting my personal feelings aside for the man, he's a staunch political genius with his pathetic political posturing as a conservative, making his empty verbal statements about how he stands against such things as Obamacare, Common Core, gay marriage, the harvesting of body parts, and refugees. But his stance have no teeth. The problem is his supporters are so enamored with his good looks, his charisma, and his words that they can't even see that he has no intention on changing anything. His statements are to appeal to his constituents that do not know any better beyond his words, for in their view, what he sees is more important than how he stands and what opposition he's willing to be met with when it counts. This is political posturing, where a politician can say one thing but have no intention on standing on what he says, because when it goes against what he says, he blames it on the Supreme Court or other government entity, appealing to his constituents, saying, hey, I'm a conservative. I tried, but you know the Supreme Court has ruled, while his constituents don't even realize his statement is a lie from the pit of hell. My point is that Otter's statements are toothless, and he has no intention on standing firm on anything, and his wife even admitted it in a recent article online at the Daily Caller, dated November 17, 2015. If you support Otter and think he's a conservative, you are clueless and are a danger when you vote, and probably shouldn't. Otter's stand is weak, and so is that of the recent press release of our congressional delegation calling for the backing of Otter's statement about temporarily sharing down the resettlement program until they can be sure that the citizens can be safe, which is also weak and quite full of BS. Our government nor our congressional delegation in their apparent actions give two hoots about our country or our safety, or they were truly ignorant or hijacked by special interests. How do I know this is true? I know because of the several reasons. A few are the support for the TPP, TTIP, Common Core, Obamacare, Agenda 21, the war on drugs, and the nationalization of police. Not to mention, related to the refugee issue, no mention of control of the UNHCR under the UN that is mandating each country to take refugees. Not one of them mentioned getting us out of the UN, which means that they support the obliteration of American sovereignty, which, my friends, has no concern for our safety or our freedom. I've heard Otter was once the best man in Congress. When he speaks, he knows the founding principles, which means that because he does, one can only conclude someone has either dirt on him to hold him back, as he stands to benefit greatly in power and money, or both, or now has decided he hates what he once claimed to love, the freedom and liberty under our Constitution. Governor, if you find your way to this post, allow me to be my personal plea to you to stand while you still can because your failure to do so will not only have horrific consequences politically, but also dealing with the backlash if, more likely when, this country awakens to the realization that our government has decided it is more important to protect its own interests rather than those they serve. The simple fact of human nature is that if you back someone into a corner, you better be ready when they come out fighting. So in simple terms, when the people realize they have nothing left to lose, they will have everything to gain. History has shown that the globe has always feared the awakening of the sleeping giant. Are you sure you want to be on the wrong side of history? Idaho has always had a chance to show the rest of the country that we should have paved the way for the restoration of liberty, but yet we continually choose the road to despotism and follow rather than lead. The sad part is, you know better. If you truly care about Idaho, act like it, not only in word, but in deed. You have the power and the right and the delegated authority. The question is, do you have what it takes to use it? That's it.